Hi friends, this is the reading lesson for second grade. You need your Tales to Live by booklet. Open to page 18 and you need a pencil and a highlighter. We are going to read a story today called A Foxy Garden, and this is a trickster tale, and this story is told in many different countries, some version of it, including Norway, Scotland, Russia, and the United States. So I think you will enjoy this story. We're going to read it in two parts. We'll read part of it today and part of it tomorrow. As we read, I would like you to highlight those key details, and then we will be writing some story events in the margins. So if you are ready, we will go ahead and get started.
Extended Read 1. Remember to annotate as you read.
A Foxy Garden by Jeffrey First. One July day, when pleasant smells surfed along the breeze, Bear found a row of ripe blueberry bushes by the creek. He stuffed himself with berries and then fell asleep. Squirrel and Rabbit followed their noses to the blueberry patch too. When they started eating the berries, Bear woke up. "Hey!" growled Bear. "Those are my blueberries! Scram! Or else!" Squirrel and Rabbit hightailed it back to the woods, where they told their wise friend Fox what happened. "Bear is being his usual selfish self," said Fox. "We'll have to do something about that."
All right, so take a minute, finish the highlighting for paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, and then I will show you what I would highlight. If you need to pause the video, go ahead. So in these first 3 paragraphs, we learn that Squirrel and Rabbit want some blueberries or berries. We don't know what kind they are yet. Oh, yes, we do. Blueberries. There it is. But Bear finds them and he thinks that they are his, right? So I would highlight, if you didn't highlight this, that's totally fine. You can add it or you can just leave yours as it is. So I would highlight Squirrel and Rabbit followed their noses to the blueberries. And I would also probably highlight that Bear found a row of ripe blueberry bushes by the creek, right? So we know who found them, we know who smelled them. And then Bear very angrily says, "Those are my blueberries," right? So then poor little Squirrel and Fox are scared and they run back and they tell their wise friend Fox about what happened. So Fox, who is a known trickster, says, "We'll have to do something about that since Bear is being his usual self." All right, let's keep on reading.
Fox grabbed a handful of his special fast-growing seeds. Then he went to Bear and said, "I am going to plant a garden with delicious vegetables. I could use someone strong to help." "What's in it for me?" asked Bear, as he gulped down another pawful of berries. "We'll share, of course," said Fox. "You can have everything that grows above the ground. I will get everything that grows below the ground." Bear laughed. "You will eat stuff covered in dirt? Yuck! I will take that deal." "How about we grow carrots?" Fox suggested.
All right, so here we go. Fox is wanting to plant a garden, right? And he's intriguing Bear by saying, I could use some help. So we should probably highlight that Fox is going to plant a garden and he could use someone strong to help. But Bear says, I mean, why would I do this for you, right? Because Bear's pretty selfish. And Fox says, we'll share. That's only fair, right? And he suggests that Bear can have everything that grows above the ground, and Fox will get everything that grows below the ground. Now, a lot of times we don't highlight a whole paragraph, but this paragraph, paragraph 6 specifically, is pretty important to what's going to happen next because this is part of their deal. So the whole story relies on this deal. So then in paragraph 7, Bear says, you want to eat that stuff covered in dirt? Great. I will take the deal. So what does that clever fox do then in paragraph 8? He suggests they grow carrots. Now I want you to think about that for a minute. Why do you think he would suggest to grow carrots? Think about how carrots grow. Let's see what happens.
Bear thought for a moment and then said, I love carrots. They are good raw or cooked. Let's get to work. Bear and Fox dug holes for the carrot seeds. They planted and watered the seeds. The seeds grew. After a while, the carrots were ready. Bear pulled up the carrots, his mouth watering at the thought of carrot soup and carrot cake. Fox took the carrots, cut off the green tops, and gave them to Bear. Fox kept the orange roots for himself.
Oh my goodness. Did you guys see that one coming? So Bear is like, okay, let's grow the carrots. So they start in paragraph 10. They grow the carrots. And it says, after a while, the carrots were ready. Okay. So, and maybe you highlighted a little bit more in paragraphs 9 and 10, but I'm just going to highlight that part. So Bear is getting ready. He is thinking of all the delicious things that he can have with these carrots. But I think he forgot the deal. Fox cuts off the green tops and gives them to Bear because Bear's deal was he got everything that grew above ground. And Fox kept the root for himself, which is actually the edible part of a carrot. Before we start reading on page 21, look at Bear in that picture. Doesn't he look so angry? Ah. All right, let's see what happens.
Hey, said Bear. The green tops are not good for eating. I want the orange part. Ah, said Fox. The orange part is the root. It grows below the ground. Remember our deal? You got everything that grows above the ground. Bear roared and growled, but there was nothing he could do. A deal is a deal. Then he said, I want to plant a new crop. This time, I will get what grows below the ground. You will get what grows above the ground.
All right, so let's go ahead and check in with our highlighting. We know that Bear is so mad, right? He says, a deal is a deal. Then maybe we should highlight that the orange part is the root and it grows below the ground. And the green tops are not good for eating. So we kind of know how this deal played out, right? So then Bear gets clever. He says, okay, let's grow another crop and let's switch. This time I will get what grows below the ground and you will get what grows above the ground. Now, this is the last page that we are going to read. I want you to think for a minute. What do you think that clever fox is going to do? Knowing that he gets what grows on top of the ground and bear gets what grows underneath the ground. All right, I hope you have a good idea in your head. We'll check back tomorrow with that. Let's go back to page 18. We are going to write a couple story events together, and then you are going to write a couple story events on your own. So, on page 18, grab your pencils and let's get started. So we will start by saying story event 1. And we can put a colon after the 1. So let's look at paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. They're all on this page. And we can kind of set up the story, right? We are introduced to 4 different characters. And we kind of know that 3 characters are on one side and they're trying to teach the other character a little bit of a lesson, right? So we know that bear chases squirrel and rabbit. Now, squirrel and rabbit are their names, so they need to be capitalized. Away from the blueberry bush, so they tell Fox, which is also a name, so it needs to be capitalized, who makes a plan to stop bear from being selfish. Ooh, that's a big word. Selfish, right? Bear is being selfish. Think about that. Why is Bear being selfish right now? He's being selfish because he wants all of those blueberries to himself. All right. If you need to pause the video and finish writing that, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next one.
Help.
So here on page 19, we are going to write story event 2. And we are going to focus on pages or paragraphs 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we know that Fox approaches Bear and he says, I'm going to build a garden, but he needs help. So they make a deal because Bear says, well, I'm not going to help you unless I get something out of this, right? Remember, he's so selfish. And the deal is that Bear can have everything that grows above ground, and Fox can have everything that grows below the ground. So here we're going to say Fox asks Bear to help him plant a garden. Now remember, Bear needs to be capitalized because it is capitalized, or because it is a name. And Bear agrees because he will get everything that grows above the ground. All right, if you need to pause the video, go ahead to finish writing that. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the next page. So, on page 20, we're going to write story event 3. Now, I'm actually going to have you write story event 3 and story event 4 on your own. So, story event 3 is for paragraphs 8 through 11. You can go back in your text and find that. You don't have to write this part down. That was just for me to tell you which paragraphs it's for. So go back into paragraphs 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We know that they decide to plant carrot seeds, and when the carrots are ready, Fox gives Bear the green tops and keeps the orange roots for himself. So that's going to come a lot from paragraph 11. But remember, we're not copying. You're taking what you highlighted it and turning it into your own sentence. Now, if you need to do 2 sentences, that is fine. But ideally, you would just have it in 1 sentence. But if you need to do 2, totally fine. Okay, when you are done doing that, you can press play on the video again. You are also going to write a story event 4. And this will be paragraphs. Hello. 12 through 14. Again, you don't have to write paragraphs 12 through 14. That's just for you. So we're all on this page right here. And so we know in this part that Bear gets so mad. And he gets so mad that he says, fine, let's do this again. But this time, I will get what grows below the ground and you will get what grows above the ground. So you're going to write your own story event for number 4. Try and get it in 1 sentence, but if you need to write 2, that's totally fine. When you're done writing both of these story events on page 20 and 21, you will either read them to me or type them out on Canvas. And we will finish reading A Foxy Garden tomorrow. All right, friends, that is it. We'll see you later.